Just like kids, dogs need to play, not just to burn energy, not just to be tired out, but to grow. Play is how dogs learn about the world. Play is how they learn about us. And play is how they learn about themselves. When children don't get enough play, we sure see it. They become very restless. They may be more emotional, more cranky, not able to focus. We say that they need to maybe movement, or they need connection, or they need activities. They need a place to explore, taking them to the park. Dogs are not much different. When they don't get opportunities to play in ways that match who they are, their bodies and brains still need an outlet. And if we don't provide one, behavior will find a way. My mission is to keep dogs in their homes, and one of the most overlooked reasons for behavior becoming overwhelming is because play is misunderstood. Many people don't actually know how to play with their dog, and every dog plays differently. Play is not a one size fits all. It depends on things like genetics, the learning history, the environment, the internal regulation and experiences of the dogs. And when we don't understand that, we can overstimulate our dogs or underfulfill them. Both of these things can create problems. 3 points that I really want you to make sure you understand and think about and take away from this episode of A Dog's View is that play is developmental. It shapes the brain. It builds emotional regulation. It builds problem solving, and it builds resilience. Just like children develop coordination, social skills, confidence through play, dogs develop self regulation through appropriate play. This is not an extra. We're talking about developmental health. And second thing to please take away, that play has to match the dog. It's hard to understand sometimes why a dog isn't interacting or playing like we think they should, because everybody's not the same. A herding breed may love chasing and tugging. A retriever may spend all day long fetching that ball, and a terrier may need digging and problem solving games because their brain they need to think. And a scent driven dog may need to search and be always trying to find something in the even more superficial way, or in the air. It's amazing. The play can be so different. And so genetics really matter. And the learning history matters. Some dogs need a more calm, structured play, and other dogs need big movement, big over here and over there. And some need really short sessions, to avoid them getting overstimulated. When play matches the dog, regulation increases. And when it doesn't, frustration increases. And the third thing that is so important to understand is that play builds relationship. Many dogs deeply want to interact with people, not just exercise, but connection. And play is a great way to build relationship with the dog. With any dog, play builds trust, it builds communication, and it builds safety. When dogs feel connected, behavior will shift. And because safety changes the nervous system. So when the nervous system changes, behavior will also change with it. I want to connect all of this with all 5 domains. I feel that play is so very important for dogs. So when we're talking about total welfare, play isn't separate from it at all. Play touches every single domain. And I want to take a little walk through them, of the 5 domains. So the first domain, nutrition. At first glance, play and nutrition don't seem much connected, but they are. Play activates the seeking system in the brain, especially when we use food-based toys and play, like sniffing games, scatter feeding, or problem-solving toys. And snuffle mats. That seeking behavior lowers stress and builds confidence. And at the same time, it can be influencing their appetite regulation and their stress chemistry. So that dog is a dog that is chronically stressed often has altered digestion and nutrient absorption in their stomach. So giving these play attitude nutrition can be also uh, examined a little bit through the legs lens and talk about how genetics influence the metabolism, the drive of the dog, and learning influences the food expectation and frustration tolerance. And the self of the dog reflects the internal physiology and the stress load and their experience, how they're feeling in this. It can make a huge difference on the nutrition. But if you add play, when it includes appropriate seeking and food-based engagement, we're supporting both nutrition and nervous system regulation. And then the next second domain is physical environment, and play changes how dog experiences their environment. When a dog is confined or restricted or understimulated, pressure builds in them. They're not getting these things out that they really need. So when you add intentional play, it can create movement, it can expand the space, it can release stored tension and introduce novelty in safe ways to dogs. And so with the legs model, the environment determines the opportunities that exist. So that's where we get to work with and help create opportunities is the environment, and genetics can learn how much movement or stimulation is biologically needed for the dog with their genetics. There's so much of this that is important and they need it. And learning history influences whether the dog feels safe exploring in that environment. Play can transform a static environment into a dynamic, fulfilling one. It can change the room, it can change the environment completely. Without it, frustration will often leak out as a behavior problem. It'll be labeled very quickly. And the next domain to think about is health and fitness. Play for total welfare. Play also is great for health and fitness. It builds strength, coordination, body awareness, but most importantly, it helps to support the nervous system of the dog and to balance that. Overstimulating play can flood the dog, and understimulating, so not enough, can just stagnate the dog. So it's finding that in the middle, what matches the dog, what matches the individual dog, and it will also support joint health, muscle tone, cardiovascular fitness, and stress hormone regulation. And through legs itself for health and fitness, the self when you look at it, the self is helped through including the internal health and recovery capacity. Genetics will influence the stamina and the physical structure of the dog. These are things to consider to help with the health and fitness of the animal, of course, right? The internal health recovery capacity, the genetics that'll influence the stamina and the physical structure of what dogs will do, and the healthy play supports both body and behavior. So taking a look at the legs of the dog and considering the health and fitness, play fits in there very good to be a valuable tool for helping this part of the welfare of the animal, just actually getting that physical needs. And behavioral interactions is the fourth domain that play can make a huge difference in this is where humans really often go wrong, because behavioral diversity is a sign of welfare. So actually being able to do what they need to do. Dogs need opportunities to express their natural behaviors, not suppress them, not cover them up and find something else to do. They need to do these things. And this is where humans really do often go wrong. When we think about behavioral interactions, we usually think about obedience or social exposure. But interactions actually include three areas: the environment, people, and other animals. And any imbalance in any one of these can destabilize the dog. So I like to break down the behavioral interactions into three sections: the the interactions with the environment. Dogs are meant to interact with their environment. They are meant to go and interact and check it out and to sniff and to search and to explore, to use their bodies to move through space. They're not meant to just sit still, they're meant to move. If they want to sit still, they do, but they're not meant to do that all the time. Most dogs are not meant to just sit. Modern life often puts a huge restriction on this because our dogs are captive. They're captive in our homes, they're captive in our yards. We have short leashes, we have small yards, we have winter confinement and weather that makes them not able to go outside. And some lots of times we have overstimulation in our urban settings with all the cars and the planes and the trains and the people and the traffic. It's living near a school, the multiple noises that could be going on there. There's so much going on in these settings, and then the dogs are in these small spaces. So when dogs cannot meaningfully interact with their environment, their behavioral diversity shrinks. It gets smaller. Restriction it narrows the behavior, and when you allow them to interact with the environment and with what's going on, even if it's from a distance, when they're still able to get some exposure and to do different things, and play is a great way to to help with this. Um, the frustration will leak if they don't get to do this. Um, when they're not met, their frustration will leak out as barking, reactivity, or destruction. And interactions with people, many dogs deeply want to interact with their humans, and not constant stimulation, but meaningful connection, play, shared movement, clear communication, just shared space and time. But sometimes we don't understand that, and we overstimulate them or correct too quickly, miss small subtle signs, and sometimes humans confuse control with connection. When an interaction for a dog feels pressured, the regulation that they have drops. They're not able to self-regulate and understand and be able to be safe, interact safely with around humans and with the people. So when you bring play in it, when it feels safe and it feels attuned together, when your time together, interactions together, trust grows. So play can help in this, and play can build relationship in ways that obedience cannot alone do. And the third interaction, behavioral interaction, that we as humans get to work on and help with and need more help with learning about and helping our dog with, is interaction with other animals, because many people seem to think that every dog should be friendly and interact with other animals. They should ignore the cat or the bunnies that are out there or the rat squirrels, but it's in their genetics. And some animals want to interact with the people and some don't. So, and some dogs thrive in groups, and some are selective and don't want to be in that other group of dogs. Some prefer a distance. So we can't assume that dogs are all the same. And we should not assume that every dog is going to enjoy the dog park, or that every dog is going to want to greet every other dog or person. So genetics matter. Their learning history matters. Internal regulation matters. When dogs are pushed beyond their comfort zone, the stress will build. It builds the stress up. Becomes stacking, trigger stacking. It becomes too much. But when we match the dog to the interaction and we help them, and play can always help in this is why play is, I keep bringing this in, because play can help things with these type of interactions. They can increase the resilience of the dog when we're able to do this. So tying this back to behavioral diversity, it is a sign of welfare when dogs can safely express a range of natural behaviors with the environment, with people, and with other animals. Behavior becomes flexible. When we have that range really small and narrow, and we're not letting them interact and do the things that they need to do, then the behavior becomes really small and rigid and stressful. And so a lot of times that's when it will explode. And flexible behavior, when they're learning all these things and learning how to live in the life, they can learn how to recover very quickly with these experiences. And people, if they're whether they're sure or not, they can recover quickly when we help them. So that difference is what can keep dogs in their homes. So this is why I want to encourage how play can help this. And the fifth domain of for total welfare is the mental state, which is this is what we are seeing. This is what is the result of everything else. So often, this is when people come to me when they're just expressing something going on with the dog. And what I'm seeing is this is the dog's mental state. So when a dog moves their body appropriately and uses their brain, expresses natural behaviors, can connect socially, their mental state shifts. They feel safer, they feel more regulated, they feel more resilient. They trust you more, they trust the environment and the world. And play can help to build this, can help with all of this. And it builds joy, play builds agency, and it builds trust. Through legs, all four components influence the mental state. When play is aligned with genetics, with the learning history, the environment, and the dog's internal state, behavior improves not because we corrected it, but because we supported the whole dog. And I would love to, I just thought of a wonderful example I can give of how it's several dogs that I have experienced now. But I'm thinking of a couple in particular that came from a mill type thing where they were used for breeding. That both, I think, one was 3 and one was older, but was very small and afraid. And one of them was totally just hiding under the new dad's arm and not wanting to explore the world in any way. It was all just way too overwhelming. And bringing in another dog absolutely helps. A confident, fun dog that is really interactive and likes to play and is trusting of humans and feels safe can really help bring that dog out, which I think helped for both of the 2 dogs that I'm thinking of right now. But that is when you start introducing a bit of play, that dog will sometimes relax and start having fun, and it works really fast. I've seen it work so well, and see dogs when they're able to freely move, what it can do for their mental state. It can change them honestly for the rest of their life. I've seen it happen. It changes the dog when they get that experience to feel safe and secure and to play and to explore and to not hide and not feel defensive. And they start to not be triggered by things and to hide. It increases their confidence. So play is a wonderful bridge and connection for helping dogs in so many in all of the domains. It helps, and all of the total welfare is supported. So that's why play isn't extra. It's not indulgent. It's foundational to total welfare. And when we meet this need intentionally, we don't just reduce behavior problems, we build healthier dogs, and we keep them in their homes, which is always one of my goals. So just like kids, dogs need to play, not just to burn energy, not just to get it out of their system, but to grow. When we understand that, we stop trying to connect, we stop trying to correct behavior after it explodes, and we start meeting needs before it does. We don't look at a child without play and say they're bad. We say they need support. Dogs deserve the same lens. Play isn't extra, it isn't indulgent, and it isn't optional. It's developmental. And when we understand that, we don't just change behavior, we protect relationships, we reduce overwhelm, and we keep dogs in their homes. I thank you so much for watching. I would love anybody to please share this video. Tell them to not hesitate to reach out. I would love to help. I love play. I have some great stuff coming up. So subscribe to my channel so you won't miss this, and go to fitsyourdog.ca and sign up for my newsletters, because I have some great stuff about play coming out. My play guide is coming out, and I have some other great stuff coming up for this summer. I'm looking forward to some great times with dogs and helping people really have a great relationship with their dogs, and seeing dogs bloom and blossom and have wonderful lives with the people they love. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. And share the video, please, with anybody you think who could use some help with their dog and is not sure about play, because I have more info on play. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.